Hey, I'm Shokodakra. Now, I want to make this video on its own because, just like the last time we got a commission of any sort, I like to give special thanks to both the artist and debut the artwork in its own video. Technically this has already been posted to our Discord and to my Facebook, just because I was extremely excited about when I got it. But I wanted to actually make it a video, and I finally had some time now that I could actually do it. So, during the Pokemon Randomizer, way back, I think it was only a couple episodes in, and we decided that because of how things were getting funny with the Randomizer, how in every single episode I would, when we catch a new Pokemon, technically in a Randomizer Nuzlocke, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to give a Pokemon a name, so that way you build a bond to it. Jade and I went one step further with my team, where not only would we give them a name, but the name and in general what the Pokemon was based on a persona that we gave it. Because we looked at its moves, or what type of Pokemon it was, or its ability, or stuff like that, and we gave it some type of persona to perfectly fit it. For instance, the very first Pokemon I got, and as my starter Pokemon, as one of the three, actually was a Scyther and a new Boomerang, or Boomerang, however you pronounce it. And that is, because of that, we kind of called it the Aussie Scyther, a Scyther that had Aussie boomerangs ready to throw out at Pokemon. So we made a team. We kind of did that with the whole team. And originally, I had looked into trying to get a commission done of it. Now, originally, I had the team that I had at the time, which is what I was going to use. But at the time, I couldn't afford many prices that I looked around at, or anyone that even if people I could afford appeared, they couldn't do what I was asking. Because at that specific time, I had a Vulpix on my team called Sayori, who, because it knew Seismic Toss and a few other things, we kind of just imagined this cute little Vulpix actually being this muscular and buff posing JoJo style Vulpix. Sadly, Sayori died before this plan could come into fruition, but I after a bunch of searching, I found an artist on DeviantArt, however you pronounce it. I messaged him and I said the idea and said I'd get to after exchanging a few chats with him, I hope him or her, I do apologize, I've been a little bit since I read the email, but after going through the information so far, I said that I'd get back to him when I could actually afford it, because I was going to save up, because he's actually got reasonable prices, unlike a lot of other people with the same quality work, which would have cost me an arm and a leg. Especially because, being an Australian, the conversion rates really sucks here when it comes to us to American or European prices, so yay. But yeah, fast forward, and Jade and I decided that we wouldn't, we'd save up, so I saved up the money, but what we would decide we would do is wait till we're at the Elite Four and Champion, because whatever team I use to fight the Elite Four would be the memorial team. The team that I would have as a randomizer team. Luckily, I would say luckily enough, the team survived. However, the Elite Four and Champion were underwhelming. Pretty much no legendaries. They had starter Pokemon, but all of them, two of them at minimum, had starter Pokemon as their final strongest Pokemon, but at their first stage. I think one had a Mudkip and the other one had something else. And I was like, you guys don't have really anything. I mean, I think there was one or two people that had the Elite Four and Champion that had some difficult Pokemon. But yeah, I mean, hell, the Shuckle on my team, it was able to kill 3 of the Champions Pokemon because they weren't that impressive. Think about that. A Shuckle killed 3 of the champions team. And would have killed 4 if I remembered I had a special item in my bag that allowed me to restore my move sets. But hey. So yeah, I had my team, and I sent him a new message giving him a reminder about seeing if it's open, and he was all cool with it. Paid it, and literally within, I think it was because he had quite a bit of other stuff happening on his end at the time. He worked on it as best he could, and then come a little time later, and boom. As you can see there, it turned out phenomenally. And I'm gonna go through it a little bit. Like, you've got my character there, pretty standard. Like, that's kind of how the character Draco's always been kind of looked. Like, the whole black coat, the just simple design, everything like that. Then right next to him, of course, you have the Aussie Scyther, which has, well, it's very subtle, but like just behind the legs, it has 2 boomerangs on a belt at its back, which is actually really, like, you wouldn't just look over it if you didn't know it was there, but it's such a nice touch that I really appreciate it. Above is where you have the 3, well, dragons of the team. You have Coral the Rayquaza. The Aussie Scyther was also, I named Kate. But you have Coral the Rayquaza, who was just literally the menacing one. You had the JoJo twins that we kind of based them on. The 2 Dragonites, Tina and Tina 2. Just because they were tanks, I guess. But yeah, we wanted JoJo characters, and we thought it would be funny to kind of have Dragonites being the JoJo characters. They're not like overly buff like JoJo characters, but it's still awesome. So yeah, you had them. You had Sir Walter the Blastoise, the very fancy Blastoise, as you can see, because he's literally exactly what I wanted. Like, he wasn't, like, all we could imagine when we thought of fancy was like the top hat and monocle, and it works so well on Blastoise. Originally I was going to go to an Olmaldo on my team called Steve originally, but he died, and then later on I actually was able to add Sir Walter to my team, so I'm like, yay. And then we come to the other star player of the team, who was also the designated capture, because you have the Wall Shuckle. Now, bit of context with all of them. For most of them, we gave reasons for their names. So kinda. Like, Coral was just because of a season that I have on the channel of Sniper Elite 4, where we created this persona of the main character I'm playing as called Coral, with a K, because he kills people. But we kind of, like, as the episodes went further and further, like, if you watch the entire series, you'll notice by the time it gets closer to the end of the series, we turn him into a legitimate monster from parts of, like, where his body parts and organs aren't 100% his. He kills people and makes every bit of their body into bullets to kill more people. We made him an absolute monster. And then it's like, yeah, well, we have to name something Coral now. So Rayquaza became Coral, which is fitting because in one of the final episodes we go to get Groudon, and he bloody one-shots it. Because of course he does. But what do you call it? The 2 Dragonites, again, we just wanted JoJo characters, but they had a pretty good, strong moveset, so yeah, that just fit. Yeah, Kate, the Boomerang, or the Aussie Scyther. At the moment I didn't really have a reason for calling it, for having a reason to call it Kate. I just wanted to call it Kate at the time. She became a beautiful tank for the team. And she could deal a lot of damage when she gets the chance, so it was really good. Sir Walter was named for William's sake because he wanted a Vaporeon or Squirtle to be named Sir Walter. So when I got one, I just did that, and he became the fancy one. But then you had the Wall. Now, if anyone's wondering why you're looking at a Shuckle in a bouncer suit with glasses and buff arms as hell, Let me give you a rundown. It's because Shuckle is notoriously known as a Pokemon with one of the highest, if not the highest, because I think it's the highest defense and special defense in game of Pokemon currently. However, it has absolute shit stats in general for the rest of it, including its attack. Its attack being appallingly bad. Like, it is known for being like complete garbage in the attacking department, but when defense department, it's a full solid wall. That's that's literally the only reason why we called it the wall in the first place, because it was like we wanted to make sure we had a Pokemon who was going to be our team capturer. Like when we were going into a new area where we could capture a new Pokemon, we wanted a Pokemon that would be either a little bit lower level than the rest of the other team, or something that could take hits but not kill anything that we came across. Enter Shuckle. Shuckle, having how high its defense is, was actually really good for that department. Mostly. I say mostly because there was one drawback: the randomizer just so happened to give lovely Shuckle the ability of Poison Point. So every physical move that was done onto Shuckle had the chance to poison the opponent, which sucked. So yeah, there was a chance that could happen every now and then, and it did every now and then, especially during the first half of the series where we lost a lot of legendaries because of it. But yeah, it was interesting at least. So he became this absolute absolute wall in the sense like that he literally lived up to his name. He became the bouncer of the team in the sense that like you had to kind of like pass his judgment to be on the team. Most Pokemon either struggled, killed themselves, or if they survived, were captured because no wild Pokemon really. There's some that got close, but there was no Pokemon that kind of got through him, which I'm glad. But yeah, it was interesting to see how we didn't think he'd be as important to the team as he was, and then we got a saying that we would love to put on a t-shirt, because apparently like his chances of poisoning shit was absurdly high, especially in the Elite Four and Champion, to the point where we came up with the saying that we'd love to put on a t-shirt: the wall poisons all. But yeah, the wall became a legitimate god in his own right. Yeah, it was. He became one of my. Well, she. I gotta stop saying he because the Shuckle was a female, so she became this absolute brute force to be reckoned with. But yeah, like we didn't have for anyone that's wondering why we called it the wall, if anyone was curious while watching the series and they didn't watch the episode where we called it, that's literally it. We only called it the wall because it had a lot of defense. Like it was the legitimate wall that we used to capture Pokemon with. There wasn't really any like bad jokes tied to that. There wasn't any ulterior motives with that name. We were just being dorks with the name because it fit with something that we wanted to capture Pokemon with. It was later that we did find out that could be taken on into several really bad or dark jokes, but we just didn't go there. But yeah, he became quite a powerhouse in the team. She did. But overall, yeah, the artist in question for this, I probably should have mentioned this way earlier in the video, but is a phenomenal artist called Kboomz. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I deeply apologize. But I will be linking their DeviantArt in the description below. I highly recommend checking them out. In terms of communication, they were amazing. I pretty much could stay in easy contact with them via email. They were always kind. We pretty much, anytime I asked a question via email, chances are I was responded to within the day, if not the next day. And like it was very rare that I didn't get a reply back, but that was only like when they were busy. And all I had to do was like wait a few days and then send another message, and then like I'd hear from them because like then sometimes your email can get buried in all the emails. But yeah, during the conversations, like they're careful, and from what I've like, one thing that I did really appreciate was they asked quite a few questions to make sure that they were getting exactly what you wanted. Like when I was doing it with doing the planning process, for how I wanted the Pokemon to look, or like what kind of little things that I want added. Like there was a lot of back and forth of like explaining it, or like I gave pretty much 6 pictures that each gave a rough idea of each Pokemon and how I want them to kind of look in their personas, which made it a lot easier for them. But it's like if something either slightly is hard to work with or whatever, they will see if like you want to try something else. Because for instance, they started the basic sketch and they showed me, but then we realized, because Scyther originally was going to have the cargo shorts similar to Steve Irwin, but problem is the way Scyther's legs are structured, that's kind of really hard to put shorts on. So we kind of settled on the belt with boomerangs, which that was easy enough. But yeah, like there was easy communication, like to make sure that exactly what I want to do is done right. That it was all like I paid them through PayPal. It was great, and then I got the image, and it just turned out phenomenally. I could not have asked for something better, and I definitely would highly recommend anyone interested in getting a Pokemon commission in general, let alone a team, to do this as well. Chances are, if they have an opening for a commission when my Soul Silver series is done, I will be taking whatever team I have at the end of my Soul Silver playthrough, like whatever team I'm going against Elite Four with, I will be getting another commission of that, because at the moment that's shaping up to be an amazing team, let alone what I could turn that into. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things develop there. Hopefully things go like. Hopefully by the time that actually comes around, they'll have a commission open and I can get my Soul Silver team for the Pokemon Randomizer that I used to feed Elite Four with as another commission that I get done. Yeah, but I guess that's enough of me rambling. I do highly recommend checking them out. Again, their DeviantArt is in the description below. Please check them out, because I haven't taken it down yet, and as I said, they do absolutely amazing work. I had absolutely no arguments with their service because, as I said, when it came to asking about the commission, it was very clear. They were quite chill in the sense that it was just easy to have a nice chat in between discussing what you wanted done with your commission. Yeah, and one thing that did spark me to them was when I was trying to find someone that wasn't going to do a half-assed job, but at the same time kind of get what I was looking for. When I came across this person's DeviantArt, like, they've got a lot of impressive work on there. Like, even if you don't get a commission straight away, I at least recommend you go to the DeviantArt and check out their other work, because they have a lot of absolutely gorgeous artworks on their page. There's if I could afford it, there's actually a commission I would love done for my friend and I, but they'll have to wait till another time. But yeah, it's something that it's something to have a good browse around, because they don't just do teams of Pokemon like this. They could do Pokemon commissions in general, just you have to make sure you're ready to explain to them what you want, so that way the sooner that they know what you want, the sooner they can get to work. They're very efficient in that. They just need to they're also very careful in the sense that they want to make sure that they know exactly at least the idea of what you want before getting into it, and that way when they show you the basic sketch, they can show you they can see if what everything was said was correct, so that way they know they're going the right way, or if there needs to be changes made. But anyway, for now, my friends, I hope you enjoyed the video so far. Again, I highly recommend checking them out. Just wanted to make sure, like, this video's already been going for like 20 minutes as far as that said, not including the intro. But yeah, as I've said before, I highly recommend you checking out the channel. Well, not the channel, their DeviantArt, because like they are quite nice, they're thorough, and they have a lot of amazing artwork on there. I wanted to make sure I got, just like when we got our commissions done for our team, I wanted to make sure they got their own like kind of shout out with this, like their own separate video, like to kind of show a bit of respect and give them a bit of a shout out to like help out, since they are quite amazing. But yeah, make sure to hit the bell notification icon down below, my friends, so that way you'll be notified by any of our shenanigans we post every weekend. Make sure to like and subscribe button. Just show our videos a bit of love. And we shall see you in the next video, my friends. Thank you and goodbye.